can't do anything. Before it was a case of AJ was manufactured. Then when he does talk a bit of crap, it's like, oh, here we go, Femi's back. And it's like, what do you want from a man?
Pro boxing fans, we're here in Riyadh. Ade Oladipo, what a press conference that was. We had 3 great fights and they all spoke up. First of all, how are you? How's things?
Good. Look, excited to be here again. Obviously, we were here, just over a month ago for Fury and Garcia. This doesn't feel as big as that. Is it just me? It doesn't feel as big, but this is still obviously something special. And I feel like we're starting to finally get a bit of heat. Before it was almost a case of everyone being nice to each other, everyone almost doing kumbaya around the fire. Now, all of a sudden, I feel like we're starting to kind of, a big fight's happening, a big fight card on the weekend, but I didn't think it felt like that a few days ago.
Otto Wallin, I spoke about his confidence. I saw him on Monday, interviewed him, he was confident then. He actually was very confident because he turned around and spoke to AJ in that way. What do you make of Otto's demeanour and his confidence?
Surprised by it, and look, I love it. So although I am surprised, I appreciate and like it because it's not like he's just saying it to us and cameras. He's saying it to AJ to his face. He's saying it. Even in the stare down, you see like he's really going nose to nose with AJ. And you should be confident. I mean, he has to look at AJ's recent performances. Before the knockout against Elenius, it wasn't great. It wasn't that great. And Franklin was a bit surprising, although I do think Franklin's very underrated. So he should look at that and think, one second, it's not the AJ of old. He's been saying this. He sparred AJ. He's fought AJ. He knows the best AJ. So I don't know. I like his confidence, and we'll see. There's one thing being confident on the stage. There's another thing being confident under the brightest of lights. I mean, this is as big as a fight card as it gets. This isn't fighting Garcia. This isn't even fighting Fury. This is fighting AJ on the day of reckoning. So we'll see what it's like when the lights shine bright. But I expect him to put in a good performance.
Anthony Joshua's had, look, when we look at Anthony Joshua, unfortunately for him, he gets put under a microscope because of the stature that he's at. This week on the Grand Arrivals, everyone's saying, listen, he's in this sort of fight mode. Today, a bit more relaxed, let the press say the bit. What did you make of Anthony Joshua? And do you feel like this talk about Deontay Wilder fight is going to hinder the performance? He's just fully focused?
No, he's fully focused. Obviously, the Wilder fight's a big one, right? It's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing. But I mean, all this talk about AJ being a bit stiff, I spoke to AJ yesterday, he's fine with me, all smiles, and maybe it's because there's some sort of relationship there, but I don't know, I just feel like, let's be honest, him and Dev said some shit about him before, and he's just probably thought, I don't want to speak to you, and I think that's it really. AJ's always tense fight week, and you should be. I mean, how can you not be a bit tense and a bit nervous? Not everyone's going to be loose like Jarrell Miller. I think AJ knows what's at stake. It isn't just a case of the Wilder fight at stake. If he doesn't beat Otto Wallin, who is at best what we say in the top 15 heavyweight, then that's it, innit? Do you know what I mean? So you should be tense, but and there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. The Ben Davison situation, like no Derek James. I'm surprised no one's really kind of put that on him. And like, what's going on with Derek? So yeah, there'll be some apprehension, there'll be some tenseness there, but once he gets in the ring, he's a better fighter than Otto Wallin. And if everything is clicking, AJ should win, but I don't know, man. I don't know. AJ comes with a lot of question marks nowadays.
Do you feel like, though, he is the most scrutinised fighter in boxing? Because it seems like when AJ's in a good mood, people are talking. When he's in a bad mood, people are talking. When he went to that dark room for 3 days, it was massive news. Do you feel like he's just put under this microscope?
He can't do anything. Before it was a case of AJ was manufactured. Then when he does talk a bit of crap, it's like, oh, here we go, Femi's back. And it's like, what do you want from a man? We're all like that. We're all kind of bipolar. But that comes with the territory. When you are one of the biggest names, not just in boxing, in sport, it comes with that. So anyone at that level gets it. I mean, I follow LeBron James a lot. He gets that. Ronaldo gets it. All the big athletes get it. So there's no surprise there. But I think AJ's accepted what it is now and who it is. And I think he just wants to come in, do no media really, fight, get the job done, and move on to what I think will be the biggest fight financially in years. And fingers crossed it happens. We're here in March, right? For it to happen in March, yeah, both of these fights they've got to get knockouts. I mean, they can't go through bruising, no cuts. And if it were to happen in March, that's AJ fighting 4 times in a year. 4 times in a year, and you round it off with Wilder. I don't know, man. March sounds optimistic, but I know they want to do it in Riyadh season, and obviously Riyadh season ends in March, so we'll see.
Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, they had a bit of an interesting exchange there. What do you make of that fight? Do you feel like this is a potential banana skin for Deontay Wilder?
This is the biggest of banana skins. Joseph Parker looks physically fantastic. I was a bit nervous when he lost to Joe Joyce. I remember coming over here, obviously him fighting Simon Keane. I'm thinking, what's left of Joseph Parker? Like physically, mentally, what's left? And he's right back on it. He's right back on it. He looks good. He looks sharp. He looks fast. He looks like he's putting a bit of muscle. And Wilder's 38. I know he looks like he's not, but he's 38. He's had those beatings against Tyson Fury. And because his fight with Elenius lasted as long as my toilet breaks, I know you don't know what's left of him, do you? We haven't seen a long 5 or 6 rounds. So this is the banana skin of all banana. And I say that, not knowing who I want to win. Yes, I want to see AJ Wilder, but I'm a massive fan of Joseph Parker. Big fan of him. He's great. Every time you interview him, he's such a good guy. Great guy. So I like this fight a lot, and this is one of another great heavyweight fight. This could main event anything, but it's a co-main. It's crazy. 2 former world champions co-maining. So banana skin. That said, Wilder could ice him in 10 seconds. That said, but banana skin.
We know that in boxing, when things keep getting reported, generally they do come out correct. When so many people are talking about one thing, do generally come out correct. Grand Rafael put out his statement saying, looks like a 2-fight deal for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua has been agreed for March the 9th. Can you understand why they don't want to say anything, because just in case things go wrong on Saturday night?
Yeah. We've seen that before. I remember years ago when Canelo was going to fight Victor Ortiz. And Victor Ortiz got his jaw broken. Canelo was ringside. I can't remember who he fought. I hate the idea of a fight being announced before a fight. I can't stand it. And I don't even understand the idea of a 2-fight deal. Like, why a 2-fight deal? What if someone gets knocked out in the first minute? Are you going to go again? But we'll see. I mean, I've always wanted. Imagine if we do get Fury Usyk, which we are getting, and then 2 weeks later you get AJ Wilder. The heavyweight division's been crap for about 2 years, and imagine ending it like that. So look, I hope it happens. If Dan Rafael's reporting it, I kind of trust Dan Rafael, and I expect it to be true, but I also expect everyone to almost be radio silent on it. We're not even mentioning it on DAZN. So it's clearly not. I guess it's been signed, but let's say the ink's not dry yet.
How different is that fight now, if it's to happen in March, to maybe 4 years ago when there was talks that it was very close to happening? How different are the fighters, and how different is the fight?
4 years ago it would have been sensational. Are you talking 4 years before they both lost?
As in, that's
So,
when
it would have been just incredible, because back then it was a case of who lands first, and you had like 2 big wrecking balls with hardly any damage, and it just felt fantastic. Now, I mean, both of them have had damage. Both of them have come off bad fights. AJ to Usyk, Wilder to Fury. Wilder's taken a lot of damage. Wilder's 38. He's not a young kid anymore. By the way, Wilder's only a heavyweight in height. Being around Wilder, like, this is my first time really being around him close. I can't believe how small he is, like, in terms of stature, his legs, his frame. I'd love to see what he weighs. He's given away so much fight in these heavyweights, but look, if it happens now, it's still a great fight. Like, I would much watch, like, if both of them are on the TV, AJ Wilder, Fury Usyk, I'm watching AJ Wilder, because you just don't know what's going to happen. With Fury Usyk, I kind of feel like I do. So still a big fight, still a fight that does over £1 million pay-per-view buys, but certainly not as special as it would have been 4 or 5 years ago.
Final 2 from myself. John Fury's talked about Tyson Fury's camp last time around, called it a circus, said, listen, it was a circus in this camp. Alexander Usyk's got disciplined people. He needs to make sure for Alexander Usyk fight that everything needs to be right. What do you make of that? And could that potentially be the reason why Tyson didn't perform last time around?
No, I think John's making an excuse, because I speak to Joseph Parker. He tells me the camp was fantastic, the sparring was fantastic. They had George Lockhart in the camp, who was nutritionist. Everything was good. Obviously, look, he probably didn't look at Ngannou as like an elite heavyweight, so maybe he did kind of pull the reins a little bit, but I think the camp was good. This camp has to be better, and this camp will. I mean, you got Jay Pataya in the camp. Yeah, exactly. You just done that face and voice. So I don't know, man. I feel like we'll see where Fury is. I'm not quite sure, but he has to be at his absolute best if he's going to take on Alexander Usyk.
Final one, because I know you want to go and grab some food and stuff. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. There seems to be talks. Sorry, there's people behind me talking. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. There seems to be talks. Have started. I spoke to ADN. Said, listen, we're starting talks for that fight. What do you make of that fight?
Sorry, you're gonna have to ask us.
Okay, let me start. Guys, actually putting me off the thing. Just relax, man. Just chill. Just one last question for myself. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
Okay, yeah.
The negotiations have started.
Yes.
I spoke to Eddie today and said, listen, yes, we are talking to Oscar, to Ryan Garcia. Talk to me about that fight. How big a fight is that?
Big. I mean, especially bigger for Ryan. For Ryan to go in there with, first, second best 140 pounder straight away is a big one. And for boxing, it's huge as well. That's a big money fight for both. And I'm hearing that talks are legitimately happening. So hopefully it does happen, fingers crossed. But that's a big fight. Big fight for the division. And by the way, we're talking about potentially happening in April. So you don't have long to wait either. So yeah, big fight. Looking forward to it.
Ade Oladipo, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time as always. And see you soon, man.
No problem, brother.
Thank you very much.